Hello and welcome back to another day trip in Switzerland. And welcome to Neuchâtel train station, where we're about to start a crazy tour of Switzerland by train. As you might have seen in past videos, we love to get around in public transportation. It's comfortable, it's safe, the trains are usually on time, and overall it's a great experience. So to prove this point, I've decided to take you with me on this crazy adventure today. It's now just past 6 a.m. here in Switzerland, and the first train we are getting on is the intercity train to Zurich that departs Neuchâtel at 6:26. The goal is to test the Swiss train system and get back here before 18:30 this afternoon. So 12 hours or so from now, we're getting on 7 different trains from 4 different train companies, and we'll be seeing the diverse scenery this beautiful country has to offer, from the plains of the Midland, the blue lakes, the mountains and the green pastures of the Alps. We will do about 668 kilometers, give or take, doing almost a circular tour to get back here in 12 hours. And the weather forecast is not great. We might even get some snow on our way, so let's see how the Swiss train system copes with that and if we get back here on time and not get delayed. We will start here in Neuchâtel and then we will go through Zurich, then Chur, Disentis, Andermatt, Brig, Lausanne, and then hopefully on time back here to Neuchâtel. I hope you enjoy coming with me on this crazy trip around Switzerland. Let's go! After a few minutes waiting in the cold, at exactly 6:24, my ICN train entered the station. These trains were introduced in 2000, with SBB now having 44 of these units that will all be refurbished until 2028. Each train set has 7 cars, and many times run in double traction, as is the case this morning, allowing for a capacity of almost 1,000 seated passengers. At exactly 6:26 we start our journey around Switzerland. So here we are, already installed this great and comfortable train. This trip is going to take about an hour and a half to get to Zurich, and I will show you some of the great views you get from our train. This line we are riding on is called La Ligne du Pied du Jura, or the line of the foothills of the Jura. The Jura being the mountains north of us. This line has a lot of curves. The reason why these specific trains are used here due to their tilting capability, allowing for faster speeds in curvy sections. Also, a piece of advice: if you ever do this trip, choose the right side of the train, as it has the best views to Lake Neuchâtel and Lake Bienne, as you can see here. We just arrived in Bienne train station and it's our first stop and we're still perfectly on time. After a brief stop in Bienne, we slowly pulled away from the station to continue our trip heading east. We're about to pull in Gretchen Sud. The train is not very busy, but after this stop and the next one, Solothurn, it's supposed to be almost full, so it's going to be quite busy, and I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to film it here or not. So I'll see you in a while. Our next stop is Solothurn, where we can see a next train from the RBS company on the orange cover that characterizes these trains. They operate trains from Solothurn to Bern on a narrow gauge rail line. Our train then enters the Bahn 2000 Strecke, the first high-speed line in Switzerland, where our train can accelerate to 200 km an hour. We fast approach Olten and we can already see Aarburg Castle as we cross the Aare River and start to slow down. So we've just arrived in Olten. Olten is a major station on the Swiss railway system because it sits almost right in the middle of the country, and it allows for east, west and north, south connections for the major lines. So it sees a lot of traffic and lots of passengers change trains here. Olten is really a railway town, having about 18,000 inhabitants, but the station sees about 80,000 daily passengers and over 1,100 trains a day, with national and international services stopping here. After this stop, the train was absolutely full, and after a brief stop in Aarau, we were fast approaching the end to the first trip of the day, but still had time to check some trains parked or going in the opposite direction. So we just arrived in Zurich Hauptbahnhof main station. It's the biggest and busiest station in Switzerland. I have about 15 minutes until my next train, so I'm gonna buy something to eat and drink and then head to my platform. I'm actually now on the subterranean platforms, as you can see. This is the newest part of the Zurich main station. Before you only had the main platforms that were outside, and that was a problem because that was an end station. You couldn't pass through by train, so this tunnel here is a big improvement to the mobility in this station because you don't have to change cabins. The drivers of the trains don't have to change cabins to go on with their ride. So yeah, let's go upstairs and try to find something to eat. This shopping area in Zurich main station is massive, with all sorts of stores to please everyone. Because all I wanted was something simple to eat, I headed to one of the supermarket chains present here, in this case Coop, where you can find moderately priced articles. So I just bought something to eat. I got an orange juice, I got a croissant and also a sandwich for later on, and all this was 12 francs 65, so not bad for Swiss prices. You can get cheaper, but well, you're in Switzerland, so that's usually what you pay for a sandwich, a croissant and an orange juice. So let's go to the platform to get on our next train. This board is not new for regular viewers of our videos, as we have been here before. Long distance on the left and S-Bahn on the right, with our next train being the IR35 departing at 8 hours 12 minutes from platform 4. And as you can see, it just arrived from Bern. This service is the Aare Linth from Bern to Chur. We already rode this same train on the Treno Gottardo route, if you remember, from our trip to Bellinzona in Canton Ticino. These SOB trains are probably right now my favorite Swiss train. They are beautiful looking, they are really comfortable, they have lots of space, they are really bright, big windows, and yeah, it's just an amazing train. If you remember, we had a video already that we made on this train, not this one, but another one that was going to Ticino a while back when we visited Bellinzona. If you're interested in seeing that video, the link is on the top right corner now on your screen. In case you hadn't guessed already, we arrived in Zurich perfectly on time. So far so good. Let's see how we get on when we get up into the mountains.
Leaving Zurich behind, I decided to eat something while the scenery didn't improve. The croissant and orange juice were absolutely needed by now, so I just munched on it as we passed the many tunnels and stations of Zurich suburbs. We quickly started following Lake Zurich on our left, and I realized I sat on the right of the train as if it was the first time I did this trip and didn't know the best scenery is on the left, with views of Lake Zurich and later Lake Wallen. Luckily, there were seats available and I was able to move seats. The great thing about almost no trains in Switzerland having reserved seats is that you can move to wherever seats available. Leaving Pfaffikon, we get to see Rapperswil, a beautiful place we visited a while back and made a video about it. I'll take advantage of the fact that the train is almost empty to show you a bit of it. By the entrances, big screens inform you about the next stop and even of the connections on those stops. And on the bistro part, you have a recycling center, a coffee and vending machine in case you forget to bring something to eat or drink. And you can even pay by card, so you don't even have to worry about not having Swiss francs on you. Our scenery went from the blue waters of Lake Zurich to the luxurious green of the fields by the many farms dotting the landscape as we make our way towards the mountains and race the cars on the highway. At Ziegelbrücke, we get to see other SOB trains parked here, and one of them is a composition that for many years made the Vooralpen Express from Luzern to St. Gallen. We can barely see the place where the name was erased from the first class part of the train. These were replaced by the Fur 3 Taverso, the same as the one we are riding right now.
So we've just encountered our first delay. I'm still on the train from Zurich to Chur, and they just came on the loudspeakers telling us we had a 3-minute delay. I don't know why they didn't say, but yeah, that's if it's just 3 minutes, it won't affect the rest of our journey, of course. I still had a bit of time in Chur until the next train, so yeah, not much, but you can see even with a 3-minute delay, that's not really a lot. They come and they tell you about it because usually they are always on time. And yeah, we're departing, so 3 minutes, they were correct. So we're currently cruising alongside Valency, or Lake Wallen. It's considered by many to be the most beautiful lake in Switzerland due to all the mountains that surround it. I'll let you be the judge of that.
After leaving Lake Wallen behind us, the snowy mountain tops keep getting closer and closer, as well as some grey clouds that threaten some rain or snow along our trip. These peaks are also the border between Switzerland and Liechtenstein. At the site of Sargans Castle, we have already reduced our speed and are ready to stop at the station. From here, you can easily get to Austria and Liechtenstein by train or bus, having local, intercity and international trains stopping here. As you can see, the bad weather caught up with us, and it started pouring rain. Arriving in Landquart, we get to see our first Rhaetician railway trains. This is the company that operates the trains from Canton Graubünden, and has the longest narrow-gauge network in Switzerland. They also operate the world-famous Bernina Express and the Glacier Express together with the Matterhorn Gotthardbahn.
Welcome to Chur, where we just arrived right on time. So we had a 3-minute delay, but that was made up by stopping last time on other stations, and so we just got here on time, so well done. Just another point for the Swiss railway system. So now we have to go to track 11 to get on our next train that goes from here to Disentis.
If you ever come to Chur and need to catch the train to Arosa, it departs the tracks outside of the station, on the street right next to the bus stops. Our Regio Express is already on the platform waiting for the departure time, so let's see what locomotive will push our train today.
You say take me on a treasure hunt. I long for something new. Have you heard?
Today we have locomotive number 621 with the coat of arms of Canton Graubünden, baptized with the name Felsberg, a little village just outside Chur.
When I close my eyes, I see.
Let's get on our train before it departs without us. Remember, we're on a metre-gauge railway, so usually these carriages have a little less space than start and gauge ones. But second class has wide enough seats that are comfortable. You lose a bit of space on the aisle, that it's definitely narrower. We have the usual 2+2 configuration of Swiss trains with a small table by the window with a map of Croatian railway lines. They have 385 kilometers of lines extending from Tirano in Italy on the south to Disentis to the west, where we are heading today. We are here in Chur, and this is what our train will cover all the way to Disentis.
Because I'm a really smart guy, I just brought one memory card, the one that's in the camera. And I thought, yeah, this will be enough. Of course it won't be enough. I'm already halfway through the memory card and we're not even halfway on our trip, so yeah, I just had to go and quickly buy another memory card. Thankfully on the station there was a small store that had this memory card. It was the only one they had, so yeah, thank God for them.
We leave Chur on time as usual. This trip up to Disentis is going to take us 1 hour and 16 minutes.
If you've seen our other videos, you will know by now, but it's not the first time that we're doing this trip here from Chur to Disentis. A while back we did this trip and we also visited Chur a bit. If you're interested in seeing that video, I'll just post the link right at the top of the right corner. Press it if you want to check that video out.
This first part of our trip is mainly flat, and we cruise along the line that will divert to Saint-Moritz, that you can see here on our left side, going up and then to our left, while we continue to follow the Rhine. We are now entering the Ruinorta, or Rhine Gorge, also known as the Swiss Grand Canyon. I'll let you enjoy the views for a moment. At many of the stops, you will see these yellow buses from the post. They connect these train stations to villages not served by train all over Switzerland, and they are usually synced with train arrivals and departures.
So I don't know if you could hear it or not on the loudspeakers of the train, but this line has a lot of by demand stops. You have buttons on the end of each carriage where you just press if you want the train to stop at that next station. And that is because some of these stations don't really have a lot of passengers, so it will be useless for a train to constantly stop there if there is no one to get in or to get out. So they implemented this stop on demand system that really works well.
After the Rhine Gorge, we start to slowly ascend towards Disentis, always with amazing views of the mountains around us, stopping here and there to let some passengers hop on or off and seeing the snow more and more closer to us.
So we just arrived at Disentis and perfectly on time, and we have a 3-minute connection here, but our train is already here. You can see the old locomotive with the Glacier Express brand, and our train is here. And we just embarked in the fort, as you can see, a bit different from the other one. So we're departing Disentis Mustér on time, as usual. So that's 3 out of 7 on time. Yeah, it just shows you how well the Swiss railway system works. And because this video is already a bit long, I will end today's episode. Come back next week for the second part of this 2 parts video, please, because I couldn't fit everything into one video. So yeah, I'll say goodbye from here, from Disentis Mustér, and I hope to see you again next week here on the channel for the second part of this video. Thank you for watching and enjoy your week. Goodbye.